And then, of course, we have the Battle of Tampa Bay and Florida. And Tampa obviously had their hands full with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get to them in a second. But who do you like? Bolts, Cats?
Tampa. It's not really that. I need to preface this. I was going to say it's not really that close. It's an easy decision for me, I feel like. And I'm kind of surprised that the two-time defending champs are underdogs in the series, and actually like somewhat sizable underdogs in the betting odds. The reason for that is they're just unflappable. Like you watch, I think when you look at that series and the way that it played out, Vasilevsky finding his form again, that team trailing at almost every point in the series. You know, they were chasing the Leafs kind of from game one. And you get to game 7 in Toronto, like they have the heart of a champion. They really do. And I just think that expertise, full marks to Julien Brisebois. We talked this, previewing the season saying, how are they going to replace the guys they lost on the third line with Goudreau and Coleman? They had to replace the entire third line, and they did it. Like that third line was the difference in game 7. Hagel was great. Nick Paul scores 2 goals. Like that third line was the difference again. And they found the secret sauce, and they have Vasilevsky in net. So I think the Panthers, for my money, they figured out a way to wade through the muck against Washington. Their comebacks were extremely impressive. Perhaps you could say that this is a better matchup for Florida than Washington was. I don't know how you could logically make sense of that, other than that it might be a little bit more open. But for me, the Florida Panthers never really, really looked like themselves, like the juggernaut offensively. And perhaps there was no way that they could continue to, because we had said all along, will their game translate to the playoffs, right?
Yeah. To me, they looked a little bit nervous at times. And, there's lots of people talking about the pressure of that first round, right? When your top teams, you hadn't won, and they'd never won a series. And I think they can exhale a little bit now. I like their overall depth. The reason I'm taking Florida in this series is I think the health of Braden Point. It's clear that Braden Point was hurt. You saw him, and he tried to gut it out. He took a stride, and there's obviously something in his groin area. Now maybe it can heal, but the chances of that being re-aggravating itself. And Braden Point has scored so many massive goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning over the last few years. You lose him. Now, you know what? Nick Paul's got to move up, or other guys. And so now that disrupts your third line. I think that might be too much for them to overcome. And that Florida, I've liked their depth all season long. And I think they got over the nervousness of it. I think that Toronto series, fatigue might set in a little bit. Florida had less or more rest, excuse me. So I'll take Florida. I'm sticking with the Panthers, though, because I took them at the start. So I'll stick with them. And I kind of thought this would be I picked Tampa and Florida to win. So I'll stick with the Cats. I think that's going to be the must-watch series of the East.
Yeah, no question, must-watch series of the East. But Florida has their own injuries. Like Aaron Ekblad stumbled through the end of that series. Their defense was banged up as a whole. They were missing a couple guys up front that were sort of, getting treatment in and out. And Braden Point, I think, just from what I saw and people I've talked to, my guess is he's fine. I think it looked to me like not to play Dr. Seravalli, but it looked like a quad injury. And they examined him after that period. Remember, he came out for the second period. Shift. Everyone was surprised to see him back, but they determined then that there was no damage, no structural damage or anything like that. So I think there's something going on in that quad area, not a groin, that you may be able to actually get some treatment on that would open the door to having him be a participant. So yeah, I full marks to you for sticking with your preseason, by the way, pick to beat the Lightning.
Yeah, got to go with it, man.